Hello everybody, it is I, Zankoku, and I am bringing you a movie review. Yes, I know, an old school movie review on my channel? What happened? Did I get abducted by aliens and replaced with a replicant? Maybe. Anyways, I was inspired to review this insane 80s grindhouse action exploitation flick, Raw Force. So what is Raw Force about? Well, it is about a group of travelers on a South Asian cruise whose big attraction is visiting this mysterious island known as Warrior Island. You know, it's so mysterious and unknown that it actually has its own brochure. Anyways, it is said that this island is a graveyard for martial arts masters and that the monks who live there have the power to raise those masters from their graves to defend the island. Unfortunately for the travelers, a group of criminals led by Adolf Hitler, I mean, come on, like, look at this guy. I mean, the hair, the mustache, he even speaks with a German accent. I mean, you know, it's not a very good German accent, but it's a German one nonetheless. They find out that the cruise's plans are to go to that island. Well, they are not too happy about them heading for that place because, you see, this group of criminals are kidnapping women and bringing them to the island so that they can give the women to the monks in exchange for green styrofoam. I mean, raw, uncut jade. Yeah, man, that stuff is like really jade. You know, no expenses spared for this movie. No. Anyways, so the criminals decide to put a stop to the cruise, but this cruise just so happens to have a group of well-trained martial artists on board, and that leads to a whole bunch of kung fu action. Yeah! So let's get to the scores. So now I am going to use my usual horror movie scoring system because, let's face it, exploitation films can pretty much be judged the same way as horror films in many regards. So here we go. Violence and gore, I am going to give this one a 4 out of 5. Now this film has some blood and a nice decapitation, but most of the violence is of the ass-kicking variety, and there is a whole lot of ass-kicking in this movie. On top of that, there is a pretty brutal fight in one of the boat's cabins that is just quite awesome. It's a whole bunch of good fun, and I'll go talk about this action a little bit later on, but for now, 4 out of 5. Shock value, 3 out of 5. So it is more like what the fuck value, really. I mean, seriously, there is so much ridiculousness in this film. I'm not sure where to begin. I mean, for starters, the monks are really weird and they do things that are just like, what? This is going on. I mean, like, look, there's one of them that's just joyfully prancing in one scene, and they do like these weird things with their hands sometimes, and not to mention what they do to the women they get from the criminals. I mean, it's not what you think, guys. No. It's much worse. Anyways, add in some of the dialogue and action sequences that just makes you go, what is going on here? And let's not forget ninja zombies. I mean, fucking ninja zombies, finally! Intentional ninja zombies, not like that other shit I talked about earlier, way earlier in my YouTube career. Anyways, well, that's a callback from like forever ago. Anyways, what the fuck? 3 out of 5. Plot? 3 out of 5. Look, this movie isn't reinventing the wheel, okay? But I am going to give it a lot of credit for trying something different than your standard action flick. And every part of the story helps lead to the final climax of the film. I mean, there's really not a lot of filler or wasted scenes here. They all pretty much serve a purpose. Well, I mean, except maybe the birthday party scene. But hey, you know what? That was an excuse to have one of the girls get into the shower. So, you know what? I'm not going to complain about that. No, I mean, everything pretty much flows well, and I never got the, come on, let's get on with it already feeling while watching this. So, you know, it's definitely not perfect, but still great for this type of movie. So 3 out of 5. Acting, 2 out of 5. Okay, so, you know, what can I say? Spare a few of the characters, Most of the acting is just really bad in this movie. Now, no, we're not talking about Nightmare Weekend bad, but there are some pretty subpar performances in this movie. I mean, it's funny. I think some of the bad acting actually adds some charm to the film. And there's this one guy, holy crap, like the way, like his voice and his delivery, it's just awesome. I mean, I love it because it's just ridiculous.
Gee whiz, your boyfriend must have been far out.
Yeah, I guess you could say that.
What do you do for a living?
He belonged to the mafia. He was a hood. What do you do?
Me. I teach 3rd grade. By the way, where's your boyfriend now?
He's dead.
He's dead? Ah, I'm sorry to hear that.
Don't be. He was a no-good bastard.
Oh, well, sometimes it just...
He just couldn't keep his hands off other women. I'd come home and find them in my bed. He was a rotten son of a bitch. So one day I had enough. I couldn't take it anymore. So I ended it.
Oh, I see. And you took this cruise to get him out of your mind, right?
I took this cruise to get myself out of the country.
Why?
There's a stupid little murder warrant out for my arrest.
Oh, well, I sure hope they get this boat going. I'm real anxious to get to Warriors Island and see the monks.
Anyways, maybe I'm like finally immune to bad acting. I mean, after all, I've probably seen way more bad acting than most people. So anyways, whatever. It's 2 out of 5. Moving on to Nudity, and well, holy shit. Yeah, this one's a 5 out of 5. Yeah, so this film has quite a bit more nudity than I was expecting. I mean, there are several scenes of TNA scattered throughout the movie, from the women jade exchanges to a scene at the local brothel, several of the cruise patrons getting freaky with each other, to just basically a random nude woman dancing on top of a bar at a local pub. I mean, it's not supposed to be a strip club, I don't think, because it's the only girl, and there was not really a stage or a platform. She's just on the bar. I mean, there's like booths and everything else, and she's just there, naked, dancing. I mean, man, this movie definitely gives you an eyeful, so 5 out of 5. Moving on to enjoyment factor, I am also giving this a 5 out of 5. Come on, you guessed it. Come on. I mean, look, this movie isn't going to be on any top 10 best movie lists, but it delivers a fun and wildly entertaining ride. There's hardly any dull moments in this film. It has action, blood, comedy, tits, and some ridiculous what the fuck moments. So of course I love this movie. And I have to mention the fight choreography because it is one of the strongest parts of the movie. The fights are well done and are aplenty. And sure, you can see some of the blows don't land here and there, but for the most part it is quite good. And it is not just a couple punches and we're done type of fights. There are some long and complex fight sequences in this film, and I love it. Kudos to the actors and the stunt crew. A blast of a movie, and I definitely suggest you all check this one out. It is easily a 5 out of 5 in that enjoyment factor for me. So moving on, overall impression, a 3 out of 5. Sure, the acting is bad, and the plot and the dialogue isn't Shakespeare, but the fight scenes alone are strong enough to put this one above average, and add in a story that does some things differently than the usual kung fu action fare, and you have a solid movie that delivers. So man, I'm giving it a 3 out of 5, definitely above average. So that averages out to a 3.6 out of 5, which is wow. I mean, it definitely racked up some bonus points for that score to hit there, but I don't know, I think it deserves it. So there you go. So what do you think about Raw Force? Have you seen it? Do you agree with me that it's ridiculous action fun, or do you think it's worthless trash? Tell me what you think in the comment section below, and don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell and all that other YouTube junk and whatever, and who knows, maybe I'll be inspired to do another one of these, you know? I'm gonna hold my breath, but anyways, thanks for watching, and I am out of here. Bleh.